Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Friday the 9th of September 2022. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. There really is only one big story today, the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Tributes from presidents and prime ministers, friends and foes have poured in after the monarch's passing. The 96-year-old, who was announced dead early morning Australian time, reigned for 70 years. US President Joe Biden, Donald Trump and Barack Obama, Russian President Vladimir Putin, China's Xi Jinping, the leaders of France, Germany and other European nations, as well as the United Nations, were common in their praise of the Queen's solid, respectful presence. Sporting events around the world held a moment's silence. In Australia, flags on public buildings were flown at half-mast, and former Prime Ministers from John Howard to Paul Keating were very positive in their praise. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese paid tribute to the Queen, saying she embodied a timeless decency and enduring calm. King Charles III has ascended to the throne and from Sunday will officially be Australia's head of state. Away from the passing of the Queen, the S&P ASX 200 finished the day up 0.7% to 6,894 points, led higher by the materials sector. Fortescue Metals was up nearly 6%, while Rio Tinto and BHP both finished 3% higher. Energy stocks also did well, while consumer staples were the main underperformers. For example, Woolworths closed down 1.6%. Biotech Imugene and tracking company Life360 were the worst performers, both down more than 4%. In corporate news, Australia's largest private hospital operator, Ramsay Health Care, pulled the pin on the potential sale of its 50-50 joint venture in Asia. Ramsay had received an indicative offer of $1.83 billion. And New Zealand dairy cooperative Fonterra lifted its earnings guidance while revising down milk collection forecasts. Its share price jumped 4.6%. The third story this afternoon, lithium stock Mineral Resources finished up 13% today and is up around 65% in a little over a month. All the lithium stocks have done well, but this one's done particularly well. Why? Well, the reason today, at least, is a report in the Financial Review that said the miner was considering spinning off and listing its growing lithium arm in the US, adding that JP Morgan is working on the plan. Mineral Resources only recently restructured into mining services, iron ore, energy and lithium, and no prizes for guessing which part of that business is considered most valuable. In a statement today, the group said any initiative to spin off the US lithium business was not sufficiently advanced enough to warrant more comment. That's not exactly a denial. Story number 4. One stock to surge today was Newey after it said nothing was going on. Yesterday, it disclosed that Chief Executive Jonathan Rubinstein had bought 350,000 shares in the struggling investigative analytics and intelligence software company. And then late last night, there was a report in the Australian newspaper that said US software company Reveal had hired investment bank Barrenjoey for a possible tilt at Newey. Newey went into a trading halt and released a statement saying no bid had been received. But that didn't really address the question about whether Reveal was interested. Newey's share price closed up 24% today. And finally, story number 5, the Reserve Bank of Australia is starting to look a little bit slack on interest rates, believe it or not. Last night, the European Central Bank delivered a 75 basis point increase in rates. It was the biggest hike since the euro was formed in 1999, albeit the ECB has been very slow off the mark. It's only lifted the main refinancing rate 1.25 percentage points in total, compared to much more in the US, Australia and New Zealand. Where Australia is starting to look a little tardy is in the commentary. This week, Reserve Bank Governor Philip Lowe hinted that the central bank might pause and see what happens. Not the ECB, or the US Federal Reserve for that matter. They're both warning of more rate hikes in coming months. That's it for the afternoon report for Friday, the 9th of September 2022. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Twitter and Facebook. Join Adam Lang and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed, the top 5 business stories for the week. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.